Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Chiefs win. Cry, Eagles, cry.
Great, excited to be back in the league.
You know, every day I got the Three Stooges in the studio with me is a good fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So let's make sure he gets that bag.
F-R-A-U-D-S, fries! Woo!
Justin's way ahead in picks. That's all that you need to fucking know.
Show's over.
Show's over. We're going home. I would like to welcome you back to another page of the Playbook Sports Podcast.
Yeah, so let's roll into our next segment here where I ask you guys, since free agency is essentially done, there's still vets will be signed after the draft. We still have the post June 1st cuts to actually happen and so on and so forth. But who are your guys' right now? I want some off-season winners and I want some off-season losers. Sage, why don't you start? You look excited over there.
All right, here we go, guys. So for off-season losers, I got my Baltimore Ravens. And it kind of hurts to say it because usually we will pick up guys right when they have just a little juice. We'll start them. We'll get just enough out of them. We've done that with Calais Campbell. We've done that with so many veterans, Anquan Bolden, Steve Smith, you name it. Yeah. We're masters at it. Mm-hmm. And we just can't seem to figure it out the past few years. This year, we couldn't do anything because we're gripped by Lamar Jackson, who is just saying like, hey, pay me. And we're like, no. He gets a trade. Yeah, Colin, exactly.
Give him the old dick twist.
I know.
Have his dick twisted.
I love that. Shout out Stream East. Always has that in the UFC fights. Literally always.
I know. We need to remake that video with Lamar Jackson yelling at EDC, Eric DeCosta.
Yeah, sadly I have to agree with you right now. I think that because you don't know what you're doing next year still. Like you want same with the Jets. I'm not saying the Jets are a loser. I'm not giving that out yet, but like you got to know, and he's been in the building for 5 years and we knew he was good when he won an MVP in his second season. You know, it's like the Bengals and Chargers have been thinking about the extension they're giving their quarterbacks since their rookie season or the year after in Burrow's case. They've already been like allotting this money. Hey, we can't spend big right now because we've got to pay these dudes. And the Ravens are like, yeah, I don't think we're going to pay him. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. It's like, no, you guys have to pay him.
We've always been a penny pincher organization. I don't know why. We kind of had the same situation happen in 2009 with Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Where he wanted to get paid big and we said no. And actually Colin's Dallas Cowboys, he was this close to being a Cowboy.
Oh, him and DeMarcus Ware would have been disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we have a tendency, we keep our players, but like, oh my gosh, like he's just got us in such a hold, such a dick twist right now.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at Twitter yesterday, Easter Sunday, and oh my gosh, we signed OBJ. That's amazing. I hope we got him for like 12 million.
Right. Cheap.
Right. No, $18 million. Granted, 15 million guaranteed, 3 million in incentives.
Right.
But I just don't see how we're paying this man who hasn't had a 1,000-yard season since 2019, who hasn't had a premier year since 2016.
Yeah.
It's 2023. And at first I got excited. The name gets you excited.
Yeah.
And then you look at the stats and you're like, fuck. This man almost $20 million because he was about to see the New York Jets.
Yeah, he was.
Like we basically was just like, here's the money.
Yeah,
please
we want you. Don't go to New York. Come here.
And guess what? We could have just given that money to Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I have no words.
I mean, think about it. If you add on that 15 guaranteed to Lamar's transition tag, that's $47 million. Lamar would probably take that.
Yeah.
47 mil guaranteed this year, however many years, he would probably take that.
Right. Exactly. Instead, we're going to have OBJ for 6 games. He's going to score 2 touchdowns. He's going to get 300 yards, and then he's going to get hurt, and then we're not going to have him, and there's 15 million down the drain.
Yep.
Honestly, write it down, Nate. Write it down for next year. 6 games, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
6 games, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's in the books.
All right. So call me out next year, week 7, pull it up.
Yep.
And we're gonna be like, oh, what's going on with OBJ? Oh, he's got 297 yards for a tutty. And
he's gonna have to miss the rest of the year for injury.
Yes, exactly. So no, I'm not excited about it. I think we are absolutely losers because we couldn't do anything in free agency. Anything I ever wanted is down the drain.
We are absolutely losers.
And it's I've just seen this organization be such a gold standard for how to run a business.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to watch it go downhill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and my winner's the Carolina Panthers. I honestly think the Panthers, with what they traded away, yeah, we bashed on them for a while. And then somehow, I don't even know how they got the money, honestly. I don't know how the cap works.
Me neither.
Because every time I try to look at it, I don't remember them restructuring things, but we all had teams that we had to try to fix.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever had the Panthers, fuck, it might have been me. I don't remember.
I think it was me, and I did restructure stuff and had
Yeah.
to cut a couple guys. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's
They didn't do a lot. And somehow they're signing fucking DJ Chark and Adam
Yeah.
Thielen and Hurst and
Miles Sanders, I'm pretty sure they also
Yeah.
got. So they've completely revamped the offense.
And I was
Completely.
like, oh, granted, a lot of those are on 1-year deals, 2-year deals, stuff like
Right.
that. But all of a sudden, they don't look so bad for a rookie quarterback.
Right.
Like all of a sudden, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud has something to play with.
I mean, that division is wide open too.
And
Oh, yeah.
honestly, that's
Okay.
what kind of worries me because now, all of a sudden, yet again, they're contenders for that division.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If they have the best quarterback right away, Bryce Young, he would be the best quarterback in that class
Yeah.
or in that division.
Right there with Derek
Yeah.
Carr. At the end of the day, like
Yeah,
Derek
even Derek Carr. Yeah.
Honestly, probably better than Derek Carr.
Yeah,
Probably.
exactly. If his strong suit is the processing, it's like, well, then that's the hardest thing to do. It's like he's better than Derek Carr. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Straight
yeah,
up.
no, I love what the Carolina Panthers did. I mean, yeah, they gave up a lot, but you want to control your own destiny.
At the end of the day, I think what they've done, it is heartbreaking. I mean, you heard they were on the phone with DJ Moore and they were in tears over it because they obviously love the guy. He's big for the organization. I mean, at the end of the day, he was what a Carolina Panther, what they wanted a player to be. But like you said, Sage, they can completely control the destiny of the draft, their own and their future. And all the moves they've made, it's heartbreaking to lose DJ Moore, but they made great moves to recover from it immediately. And they get their guy for the next, hopefully, 15 years in their mind. That's a dub.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my winner and my sad loser.
Dang.
Hmm.
Never seen you so down about the Ravens before. That's breaking my heart.
Dude,
What a makes
here's the
sense.
thing. I still think we're going to draft well. We usually
Yeah.
draft pretty well. Unless we get a receiver in the first round, then that receiver is destined to fail.
Yes.
So as excited as I was about Jordan Addison going to the Ravens, I was like, but he went to us. So he's probably going to suck.
Let's just save his career, go somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
If we get a
Um,
receiver in like the third round,
It'd be great.
he'll catch 800 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll be solid. It's very solid.
The best receiver we've ever drafted is Brandon Stokely. So
God. Hey, eventually one will hit, right? Has
or
to.
Torrey Smith.
Has to. Torrey Smith. There you go.
Yeah.
Addison, winner, losers. What you got?
Well, I've got a couple for both.
Mhm.
One's actually, I wasn't going to really bring them up. Sage, you talked on obviously big for a minute. The Ravens, I actually have them in the other way. Winner. I think OBJ signing, it is questionable. 15 mil is a good bit of money. End of the day, that's what he was demanding, though. I think the Jets would have somehow forked up something similar to that. Obviously, maybe a little bit more so you guys could convince him to come to Baltimore. But when you hear the reports that Lamar and OBJ is
Agree with
in the understanding that he's going to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
Lamar obviously understands what's around the league. I'm saying Ravens are winner because the rest of the league are dumbasses.
Yeah.
They had an MVP that's 26, and I understand it's a bag, but right in front of you, team aka Atlanta, who I really think sold. You know what I mean? With a division that's weak, we just talked about it. You have Lamar right in front of you, but since all the rest of the teams flinched, didn't even want to talk to the guy, the Ravens walk away a dub. At the end of the day, they're going to pay Lamar something that he obviously is going to accept, so he's going to be agreeing upon it. And whenever that time gets done, the Ravens walk away dub because nobody flinched at the idea of taking him, and they get to sign him. You get to prove it with Odell. Let's see what happens in the draft, and you get to keep your MVP quarterback. From what everybody's saying, I look at that as a W for the Ravens. Sure, like you said, he does have you in a dick twist right now, and that's true. He does. But at the end of the day, that twist is going to untwist. He's going to let go, and he's going to say, hey, we're here. And I was hurt last year, boys. If I'm healthy, I'm out there. At the end of the day, if I was on a contract, I wasn't playing. You know what I mean? I just didn't believe in my body. But when I do, I'm out there and we win games.
Yeah.
So let's just get right back to it. And you added OBJ, finally got me a weapon, maybe a second in the draft. I think it's a W for the Ravens.
If I hear or see one more thing from Atlanta fans about giving Desmond Ridder a shot, I'm gonna lose my mind.
No, I
You
don't like
can't
that.
give this old man any more shots. You had one chance with him in his prime. Now he's 73 years old. He can't do it.
The GM, I don't like Arthur coming out. Oh, we don't want to fracture a relationship with a 1-year guy. I'm sorry, you have this guy's contract for the next 4 years, regardless. Like, let's just relax here. There's no worry. If you fracture relationships, so what? At the end of the day, he's going to show up. You want to play in the NFL, you're still showing up. And I mean, what trade value does he have now? You can't demand a trade. No one's jumping at you, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just, again, don't get it. I don't mind, the sentiment. Hey, we want Ritter to take a chance, but he's Lamar's backup then, and just be ready if anything goes wrong.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, that's just where it's at. But instead, they're going with Vietnam vet. And we'll obviously see how that works out this year with their Kyle Pitts, another year wasted. Drake London, you're wasted. Like, we'll see what goes on.
I still think Tannehill to the Falcons could still happen.
We'll see, and that would be interesting. I mean, it'd be better than Ritter immediately. I mean, but who knows? Maybe Ritter would eventually start too, and that's what's hilarious. One winner, obviously Bears, in my opinion. Just they had the money and they had to spend it, and they did upgrade pieces here and there. Obviously, got offensive linemen. Got middle linebackers. The linebacking core completely overhauled and great signings. Helped Justin Fields. Obviously, DJ Moore, #1 trade back, was good. It's just everything we said the Bears needed to do, really. Besides maybe go get a tackle, but then you're looking draft. Maybe defensive line as well, but what was the contract, man? Wish Marcus Davenport would have came and prove it with the Bears instead of Minnesota. But still, I think overall, the money was well spent. Poles made a good trade. We're looking at future capital as well. Got to at least say Bears won because they could have signed people that, this was an L off season. At the end of the day, I think they made moves that were good and got Fields a #1 weapon. That was the big one.
That's huge.
That gets you a win immediately. I think the Broncos are a winner as well. Mike McGlinchey, I enjoy. Ben Powers, I love. A couple of guys I thought Bears might go get. Well, guess what? The AFC Bears are going to go get him in the Denver Broncos. I love the Sean Payton addition. Russell Wilson, come back down to earth, man, just a little bit. You're a great NFL quarterback, and that's what you can be, and that's what you will be under the tutelage of Sean Payton. Just understand what Drew Brees was able to do with this guy. And Drew Brees did it long into his career. And you're in Denver. You can extend that contract, make it worth it. And that will really make the Broncos a winner if that contract is worth it all of a sudden again, especially for Russell Wilson, especially after this last season. But I think moves they made put them as a winner. Couple losses, both Super Bowl teams, just in the idea that it's tough. When you win the Super Bowl, people are going to come picking from your roster because you guys are obviously good for a reason. I mean, the Eagles at one point had 10 starters that were gone. Obviously, they brought back Bradbury and Darius Slay, but still, it hurts. I mean, and Cox and Graham came back as well. But Rashad Penny, is there any health there? The running back room is a question. You lost Sanders. You don't really have a guy that can be the every down back the whole season. There's questions there. Marcus Mariota backup. Cool that he's there finally. Wish they got him with Chip, baby, a while back. But both those, that's just tough because, again, in Super Bowl teams, people are coming from your roster. There's not much you can do. I will say another team that I think was a winner was the Panthers, but I think we all can say that just going through the entire offseason. I will say I think the Jets win. They get Rodgers, which I think is an assumed eventually going to happen. And at the end of the day, you're replacing Zach Wilson with a guy that's going to the Hall of Fame first ballot, and he's got some juice left in the tank. I think it's a dub. And on the opposite side of that exact trade, I still think it's a loss even if the Packers get rid of him. You really haven't done much because you really can't. You just sort of had to lose pieces and you have to hope you draft well. And at the end of the day, you're replacing a guy with a quarterback that hasn't proven anything, and you're hoping he's good. If Jordan Love struggles, the Packers enter a uh-oh era, and what's the future look like? You know what I mean? Because it just turns into, if they're one of the worst teams next year, are they looking quarterback? Like, honestly, Packers have a top 2 pick. It's going to be interesting. But multiple winners and losers. Maybe one last loser I could throw out is the Chargers. I think Austin Eckler demanding a trade. Well, he's 80% of your offense, man. I like bringing back Keenan Allen. I like the addition of Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator. But if you lose Eckler, we're going to see what's up with Herbert. Obviously, he's great talent. I love him as a quarterback, but still haven't really done much. You just brought back an old Allen. What's up with the draft? Do they go get a weapon? You know what I mean? If Smith and Jigba's there, something like that, that would be wicked. But if he's not, they've really just sort of gotten older a little bit and are hoping Herbert can get them over the hump. And if you're losing Eckler, that's tough.
Yeah, Eckler even said like, "Hey, worst case scenario is I'm on the Chargers next year."
Exactly. Like he just does not want to be there.
And I don't blame him. He has scored over 30 touchdowns the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And they said we don't want to pay you.
Yeah, we don't
Are you
respect
fucking
that.
serious?
Yeah, exactly.
He
Like I'm
scores
the guy
more
that takes the
touchdowns than
ball
anyone.
in the end zone. So
He's
so
insane.
those are my winners and losers. A little bit both, couple there, here and there. But some obvious ones, I think. I mean, Panthers, we all can obviously say stuff like that. But yeah.
One of the winners that I love you mentioned was the Denver Broncos.
Mhm.
I think it's absolutely, I've seen so many articles saying the Denver Broncos are losers of the offseason because they paid guys. And I'm just like, man, how do you say that? Like, they expect them to give up on Russ after one season, which part of me is like, yeah, he played atrocious.
Terribly.
Absolutely agreed. You can't dispute that. But how do you not try to fix that with that contract on your books?
Exactly. You're stuck with him first off. You can't get rid of it. And everything they've done is a great move in my mind. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett, not an NFL head coach. How much does that impact Russell Wilson? Oh, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Guy was going from Pete Carroll, had a system that he knew what he was doing in Seattle. Obviously, there was shakeups on offense the whole time, and Russ carried a little bit. But Pete at least knew what he was doing. Hackett had questions on if he knew what he was doing under time management. That's pretty much some of the most basic stuff a coach can have. He's struggling at that. And you're replacing this guy with Sean Payton, a Hall of Fame coach. So, I mean, I think it's a W, giving Russell the best chance you can, and the line helps. One reason Russell struggled maybe a little bit because the line wasn't all there. Well, let's go get Powers. Let's go get McGlinchey. We have weapons on the offense. Everyone's, they're trading Judy. They're trading Judy. Let's just hope they keep him and use him because he's a freak.
It looks like they're not trading either one of their guys.
Yeah. And Javonte Williams getting hurt last year was major. I mean, he was going to be the number one RB all year. And if they have help behind the line, that really hurt them. And if they can have it this year, their defense is it's dominant. So let's give Sean Payton a chance. And I think the Broncos are going to be a winner from it. Tough division, but they've done everything they can to give themselves success.
Yeah.
If it goes right, they're right back to the beginning of last year.
Exactly. If everything pans out, they're the team that, they're competing with the Chiefs. They're going to make the playoffs. They're winning 11 games, but is it enough to get the 1 seed in the division? You know what I mean? That type of team.
Yeah.
Right.
They should have the 5th pick or 4th pick or whatever it is.
Yep.
You agreed.
Who'd they pick up for their DC again?
It's actually blank.
Lynn.
Look it up real quick.
Who? Anthony Lynn? They get Anthony Lynn? Okay. Yeah, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. But I like those.
Vance Joseph went back.
Vance Joseph.
DC there, which I said once, I was like, damn, I like that. I mean, not afraid to go back to a place where he was head coach and he can still be dominant there as DC and be loved, baby. And he's got the defense to do it.
And John Elway gone. What do you think about that for their?
I mean, I don't know if it's such a bad thing. Nothing against Elway. You know, I mean, obviously got Peyton there, and it probably had an influence on getting Russ there as well. But just because you were great and you hit a home run with Peyton once, you know what I mean, doesn't mean you're the best executive. And he probably wants things to be so good for the Broncos. You can't look for things through a specific lens. It's always, got to be in his mind, what's good for the team, even though it might not be the best. But since he's such a diehard Bronco, it's got to be this way versus, it really is the best case if we wouldn't have done some of these moves, maybe.
Yeah.
We're here now, and I think they put themselves in a position to compete.
Yeah, agreed. Colin, winners and losers from this offseason. What you got for us?
So you guys have already listed a couple I had. As far as losers go, I included Minnesota Vikings in my loser category. I know they got Mark Davenport. I think my favorite offseason storyline or anything that happened in the offseason was Zadarius Smith's, peace out. I'm still being on the roster.
The fuck do you think you're going, buddy?
Minnesota, I'm out. But losing Eric Kendricks is going to hurt their defense, I think. Adam Thielen had to be some part of that locker room offensively as well as a vet block. I just didn't love their offseason. I still don't love their team going forward other than a few pieces here and there. I also had the Ravens on that as well, Sage. The reason I put Vikings over Ravens was just because of Odell yesterday signing that helped them out just a little bit. They're either the dumbest organization at the moment or they're playing the best chess game of all time. Yeah. Jury's still out on that. Winners, I had a few of our teams in the winners. Bears, I like the trade. I like the Tremaine signing as well. Dolphins, I liked Jalen Ramsey. I liked you guys getting rid of your DC as well. I that. And I found Gilmore and Brandon Cooks as well for my boys. And then I wrote down the 49ers as well. Obviously, Javon Hargrave's huge. They lose McGlinchey, but I don't think that's big. If you ask around San Fran, apparently he was a big meme on their offense. So I don't know. Kind of the rich getting richer was a theme of my winners, I guess, this offseason.
Yeah, I agree on the 49ers. What I've seen a lot of like great run blocking right tackle, terrible in pass pro. I've seen a clip of Micah Parsons just embarrassing him. I've seen that clip a lot.
There's a little compilation of him being completely lost and not touching anybody on a play. I mean, that's Sam Mustipher on the Bears, and he's out of the league bad. You know what I mean? Like getting flamed that, but you're not touching anybody. Like that's tough.
And it's not like they just brought him in on like a 1 year, $15 million deal. They gave him 5 years, $87.5 million. I mean, they paid him.
They did.
That's a lot of money that they're throwing at him. But like we said, I think Denver had to. Like, you need to know, hey, is Russ still that guy? You won't know if you can't block. I like what Denver did. I didn't have them listed as winners, but I think they are. I agree. Colin, funny you say you have those 3 of our teams. I have those 3 of our teams as well. I love what the Bears did with their offseason. Edmonds and Edwards up the middle. Love it. Love that. You're replacing Roquan Smith with 2 guys who are both solid players. Roquan Smith is amazing, but you've got 2 guys for that cost that could play that role just fine.
$2 million more for the 2 of them versus one guy in Roquan.
Yep. And you like that. You like that because you have to build a team. It's not about paying one dude all the money, which I like. Don't get me wrong. Love Roquan Smith. Great player for the Ravens.
He's an elite player.
But I really like how the Bears played that. And the trade down was a masterpiece, an absolute wonderful play to get DJ Moore out of that. I mean, my God, Ryan Poles masterclass. And then I like the Robert Tonyan addition. I don't think Cole Kmet's bad, but why not add on?
Yeah, exactly. The second guy as well, and both of them can block well. Both of them can honestly get out in space. And I mean, had similar numbers last year in yardage wise, just 2 tight end sets, and it's not just Kmet. I mean, at the end of the day, love it. And Tonyan
is very solid.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears drafted another one too.
Yeah, seriously, depend on exactly.
It's so deep. If you get Luke Musgraves out of there, if you get Sam Laporta, if you get any of those in like the 2nd, 3rd round.
And Tonyan's coming over, knows the system as well from the Green Bay. So nice.
And I really like the lower key additions of Nate Davis at guard, and I like Dante Foreman at running back. Let Montgomery go. I love Dante Foreman coming in.
He's going to be the one. He's eventually going to take over that back role, and he will be the one. Love you, Herbert.
He should have been the one in Carolina.
He basically ran for 1,000 yards in like 13 games as a guy. So thanks.
Great pickup. Cowboys, love the additions of Gilmore and Cooks. Should those guys be number 1s on a team? No. But are they fantastic number 2s? Absolutely. Stephon Gilmore still has a juice. And I think Brandon Cooks might even feel a little bit of a career revival, finally getting out of a shitty situation in Houston where he knows you're going out to lose. Hey, this is a place where we expect to win. We need to win. We are starving for success again.
He wanted to be out of there too. He was tired of it. You know, I mean, not that he was a cancer in the locker room bad, but they wanted to get him out of there. He wanted to get out of there. It was obviously known. He obviously went out and played hard. But at the end of the day, he made it clear, I do not want to be a Houston Texan.
Yeah, I'm done with this organization. Like he's just been the best player on a crappy team forever. And a lot of people probably have been calling him washed because the team's bad. I think he's going to come out and prove it a little bit. I love it. And corners are always better when you have a good pass rush, and not many teams have a pass rush like the Dallas Cowboys. So I love those moves. And the Dolphins, I like what the Dolphins did. Bye-bye Byron Jones. Hello, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, I feel like Jalen Ramsey is so much older than he actually is. He's only 28 years old. Like everyone's like, oh, he's old. He's done. He's only 28 years old. We were able to rework his contract. I love that. And David Long at middle linebacker stole him from Tennessee. He'll start day 1 for us. If he can stay healthy, I really like that. And the biggest addition we made was Vic Fangio at DC.
Love that.
Probably have the best defensive coordinator in football, one of, if not the best defensive coordinators in football.
You want to say the one thing maybe Ramsey doesn't have is he can keep up with the fastest guys in the league.
Right.
Okay, well, Vic's going to be able to play for that, and Ramsey's going to literally shut down half the field. I promise you that. Ramsey's going to play up all year. He will be. He's going to be physical at the line. Vic's going to know he can have people behind him, and everything in front of them is going to be Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, and he's going to shut down. I love that addition. Honestly, sort of forgot about it. Probably would have had Miami in my winners because I do think that's a monster. Love Vic. Getting rid of your zero blitz guy.
Yes, thank God. He made me sick.
I will say my non-team winner or loser. I think couple position group winner or loser. Receiver and tight end both actually big losers. I Just the draft coming in, obviously, maybe it might not be first round picks, or if they are, they're late, but a bunch early second receivers are going to be going. And there really wasn't much here in the depth at free agent for the receiver class. And it hurt. Jacoby Myers, obviously, decent contract. But then you look around and Cooks and Hopkins both looking at as salary dumps at how they want to be traded. Not that receivers aren't going to be getting bags. They will. Jamar Chase is going to get a bag. But man, when you got guys coming out of the draft, pretty much looks like every year, deeper and deeper classes. And then same thing with tight end, man. Dalton Schultz lost money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, had to sign a 1-year prove-it deal. I mean, good deal for Texas or Houston. But he's turned down $3 million less per year from Dallas. And pretty much that tight end market was dry. And unless you're Travis Kelce or George Kittle, you're not getting paid bag, or Mark Andrews. So there's your top three. Other than that, both those, you just got guys coming out that are freaks. And that's tough for the people that are in the league because they want to replace you as soon as they can.
Right.
So,
We can get younger and cheaper. Sold. Moving on. Yeah. My other winning team. So I did not put the Jets as a winner because Rodgers is yet to be on their team. But if they get Aaron Rodgers, I think they're an offseason winner. And if Lamar Jackson says, you know what, fuck it, I'll play for you, comes back to Baltimore, Baltimore's a huge winner this offseason, obviously, because they'll get an MVP level quarterback cheaper than what he should be getting. So I think both those teams could be winners if the right thing pans out. And then the other winner I had that I haven't heard mentioned yet, the Detroit Lions. I like what they've done this offseason.
There it is.
I like what they've done this offseason. Bringing in Cam Sutton and Mosley for corners. So they've picked up other corners. They've still got Jeff Okudah there. They brought in CJ GJ to help shore up the backside as well. I like bringing in David Montgomery. They've got another year of Aiden Hutchinson. Jamison Williams is going to be playing a lot more. And that then they pick at number 6, and they're going to get a blue chip prospect
at number 6 and 18.
yeah, I know. They have,
Right.
they've set themselves up, Nate. That is a great winner right there.
They really have, man. They have set themselves up for success this season. Coming off of a season where they finished second in the division or tied with Green Bay, they only got better this offseason. I'm not disappointed in the loss of Jamal Williams because I think Montgomery fills that role just as well.
I mean, there are a couple weird plays in that Rams game. A dumb foul here, dumb personal foul there at the end of the game from being in the playoffs.
Yeah, right there.
I mean, hell, if you really look at what they're doing, it's reminding me a lot of how the Philadelphia Eagles got to where they are.
No joke, man.
You know, they're saying, "Oh, we're building up what's bad," and you would think that would be simple. You would think every team would do that, and for some reason, none of the teams do that. Am I crazy, or does just every other team just like, our secondary is really bad? Let's get a linebacker.
Let's go with linebacker.
Like, I don't know why that happens, but they really said we're getting beat by our secondary. Let's add 3 fucking corners.
Yeah. Yep. They said, all right, you're done beating us that way. Figure out another way to beat us.
At the end of the day, I love Jalen Carter and the mocks at 6, but darn if they take Christian Gonzalez or Devin Witherspoon. Oh darn, you're getting the best corner. Oh darn, yeah.
Right.
They are thrilled that all these quarterbacks are rising up the draft boards because it's just going to deliver a fantastic defensive player right into their laps at pick 6.
Oh yeah.
I'll say if I can throw out like a 60% winner, I think they slightly won because they're in a weird position. The Saints. I mean, Derek Carr is probably the best they could have done.
Definitely.
Position they were in. Michael Thomas comes back on a cheaper deal. I like Jamal Williams' addition. You don't know what's going on with Kamara. The division is weak, but they're in a position where they really could have sort of blown it up and try to get good, like competing for a future in a couple of years. They're sort of going the Colts route, where we're extending a team where maybe we shouldn't. But they're making the best moves they can while they're trying to do that, but is that the best route? We'll see. Yeah.
Right. To be seen. Agreed.
I mean,
my losers.
Go ahead. You already brought up the Lions. I just got to bring up the Seahawks real quick. Not exactly a winner for everything, but they got Wagner back.
Yeah. Cheap too. He got from one of my losers, the Rams. They just gave him 5 years, $50 million, played 1 season, said, nope, bye-bye. And then he goes back to Seattle to help teach Jordan Brooks how to play the position even more, who had a great year.
He really said, I want to go win. Went to a losing organization. Was like, all right, I'm back.
Never mind. I'm going back. I'm gone. Yeah,
my
agreed.
party's not taken yet. Yeah.
And I do like what Seattle did this offseason. I like that they extended Geno Smith. He earned it. He earned the extension. And they've got the 5th overall pick out of it, man. Similarly to the Detroit Lions. Sage, 2 of your teams are doing great this offseason.
Yeah.
You need to tell the Ravens to figure it out.
Honestly, you guys are almost making.
I mean, if they get Lamar, man, you went 3 for 3. You went 3 for 3.
Yeah, Lamar comes back, then you had a great offseason.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got 3 teams. This happened in 1 year.
Yeah, it did. We started talking about them every week, and all of a sudden you're like, I fucking love these guys.
I
Right?
got the Browns, baby. I'm stuck.
In
So,
5 years, I'm going to be a fan of like 29 teams.
Yeah, most of the league, everyone except the NFC North.
Yeah,
Mhm.
AFC North. I'm gonna be like, fuck those guys.
AFC
But
My 3 losers, I've got Los Angeles Rams. They're having to kick people out the door left and right. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback because if Stafford's neck is truly that badly injured, you don't have Baker Mayfield now. So who do you turn to? John Wofford. Okay, here comes 0-17. Oh, also, you probably still don't have a first-round pick because you gave them all to Detroit. Detroit has them all. F them picks worked. Good. I will say this. I would sell 10 years of horrible football for a Super Bowl. I would.
Yeah.
And they did. Good for them. But right now, they suck, and they're going to suck. They have no way out of it.
the other thing is like, how many fans are actually enjoying that? How many fans do they have?
None.
it's LA, man. They're the 10th best show in town again all of a sudden, and no
Yep.
one gives a shit.
No one cares.
Yeah.
I also had, I think, Addison, you had the Super Bowl teams as losers. I've got the Chiefs as losers. Mainly because they let Orlando Brown Jr. walk, who played at an all-pro level for them. And then they turned around and paid Juwan Taylor more money. Why? What are you doing? Orlando Brown Jr. is better than him. Like, we always talk about the Jags needing offensive line. He was a part of that offensive line that needed help. And Orlando Brown Jr. gave up, with that offensive line, the least amount of sacks in the NFL by a wide margin. But you're going to pay the other guy more money to come in and learn the play. And they lost Andrew Wiley, too. Like, they lost both of their starting tackles and replaced it with a more expensive Juwan Taylor and whatever else they're going to throw out there. And are you going to play Juwan Taylor at right tackle, or are you going to move the talent to left where Orlando Brown wanted to play? And it's like, well, fuck, why don't you just pay Orlando Brown then?
Yeah.
If you're going to have to play him at left tackle anyways. Doesn't make any
The
sense.
only thing I could maybe say is somewhat of a scheme. Orlando Brown is a true anchor for a pocket guy, and Mahomes is so extendy. Like, he just makes plays longer than they need to be. Juwan Taylor maybe a little bit more athletic, can maybe help extend plays, but I mean, I don't buy that. I mean, obviously the GMs can feel whatever they like, but that all of them think Orlando Brown isn't a left tackle, and he's only had success there in the league.
Right.
So,
Only done it really
How is
well.
that? How is he not? Sure, you want him to be a right tackle. You think he'd be better? Well, he's having success at left. So, just take it. He's a left tackle. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at, Colin? What?
Oh, he's only just done it.
He's only just done it several years.
Mhm.
God, I don't know. I feel like I'm going crazy with that because, like, if you don't think he's a left tackle and you don't want to pay him left tackle money, then why in God's name did you pay Juwan Taylor left tackle money if you're not going to play him there? Oh, so you're going to play him there. I like what you said about the extending plays. Juwan Taylor's more athletic, as proven by Orlando Brown's historically bad combine. If you want a good laugh, go watch that. But he's proven to be a very, very good offensive tackle, and they just said, nah, we're good.
Well, I think Orlando finally has found his home amongst the Bengals in Cincinnati. I think he will be the perfect guy for Joe.
Yeah.
Really, Joe doesn't. I mean, he might extend plays, but he doesn't move like Mahomes does. And
More pocket.
And Brown will be able to just secure the pocket. I mean, he's an anchor. He shuts down that left side pocket completely. But when you extend and Brown then has to move, his athletic ability isn't side to side. The dude's a freak of nature, getting to his spot, and you're not getting by him. Simple as that. But if he's got to hold it and then maybe go left or right, well, now you're talking. We'll see.
Yeah, agreed. And then I'm real quick trying to look up the stats. I don't want to say it wrong, but let's see. My third. No, I don't want to say it wrong. God. Oh, here we go. Yes. Wait. Nope, that's not it. Shoot.
Yes.
Offensive lineman, Natty to die.
Yes. Poor Lyle Collins, man. But
Where is he? Is he signed? Where did he go?
He's still in Cincinnati. They haven't cut him yet.
Oh, they didn't chop him either. Oh, wow. Okay.
Not yet. That's like expected to happen, but they haven't done it yet.
Okay.
My third losing team is the Tennessee Titans because I don't know what they're doing. First of all, they're out on Malik Willis. That's come out. So they're already looking to trade for a quarterback. The price is going to be super steep. Do you know that they lead the NFL? The highest percentage of cap space in the NFL is allotted to their quarterback and their running back. Both of those players, sad as it is for Derrick Henry, because I've loved watching Derrick Henry play football, definitely on the downtrend here. He can only take 350 carries a season for so long before he just starts to break down. And Tannehill is proving that he is getting done. He's close to the end here. And they're paying them like $80 million combined this season. That is absurd. No one else has even remotely close to that level of cap space dedicated to those two positions. And those two positions alone can't win for you if the rest of your team sucks. So
At
I
least
don't
they
know.
won't anymore.
gave
It
them a
was fun
chance.
for a while, but
Yeah. They tried and they were close, but
Yeah, right there.
you got to give up on it because
you got rid of AJ Brown, and all of a sudden it's not worth it anymore.
such an L.
Yeah. Let's see. Hang on. So they're using up 23% of their cap space on quarterback and running back.
Yeah.
A quarter of their cap on 2 of 53 players.
Yeah.
That's not
One
going to
of them is
win.
running back too.
And one of them's a running back who is approaching 30 years old, and Tannehill, who's like 34. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what the Titans are doing. So I've got them as losers because they needed to trade Derrick Henry this offseason. Like, this was your time to reset. Because guess what? The Jaguars are just starting their window. They are
looking at
just
the
opening.
Colts. They're thinking they're getting a future pick here too, and the Texans.
And the Texans. Like, the Titans are in the worst spot for over the next 5 years in the division. This was their chance to reset this year. Go out and suck. Suck for one of these quarterbacks next season. Like, go all in on this because your team is not built up to succeed.
The Titans might be in play for the 1 or 2 pick next year.
Yeah, they might be.
Not even might be. I almost get they'll be a top 5 pick.
2 more years. Vrabel gets chopped.
Yep.
Then it's Allen gets chopped. Vrabel to New Orleans. Calling it now.
That would be sweet. I'd be good with that.
That's a New Orleans head coach right there too.
Yeah, it is.
Eric,
Lit.
well,
Derrick Henry to Dallas.
I will say I really did like Dallas. I forgot to mention this as them as a winner. I like that they got rid of Zeke. No sense. Although did he sign with Philly? I saw he was going to. Did that happen? No.
he hasn't signed yet with anybody.
I think when that report came out, I think that was Zeke saying he wants to go to one of those 3 teams. And I think I saw a report that was saying like that was him saying he wants to. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the most likely scenario might be the Bengals at this point.
Real Joe Mixon, all that shit gone down. He's gone for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely done.
Gone.
I bet you they would take Bijan Robinson at their pick if he falls, man.
The
Forget
Bengals?
about
That would
it.
be interesting, man.
Can you imagine the Bengals with fucking Bijan?
No,
Wouldn't be fair.
Stop.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Insane.
I'd be so mad.
Absurd
I'm not
talent.
watching football.
We're not watching, but yeah, right. Like, we don't live and breathe for NFL Sundays. Come on.
Stop watching football until like 4 years later when he has no legs left because they
Right.
run 400 times a year.
Those 18
They run him in the
Sundays, baby. It can't come soon enough.
It really can. I'm already excited about it. I was thinking about it the other day.
This is what happens to
Every
Steelers,
day.
John, and then trade for Lamar.
Steelers get Lamar and Bijan.
Who's trading for Lamar?
Steelers, Pittsburgh.
And they just moved Najee out to slot.
Yep. Najee's a wideout.
Y'all are funny.
Najee to the slot.
That's
Najee
funny.
to the
Matt
slot.
Canada can't call a play to save his life. He'll ruin Lamar.
Now you just hit price for some biscuits. It's gonna be a fullback.
Najee's gonna be a fullback. Yes. Run 2 running back sets. I love it.
Hey, the Ravens were running fullbacks out in the slot.
Hey, you guys have Patrick Ricard is awesome.
Hey,
I will not have any Patrick Ricard slander on this
but when
show.
he's running 5-yard digs, it's kind of funny.
It's another
Hey.
offensive lineman out there.
He's caught more touchdown passes than most of our receivers, and I wish I was kidding.
That's so sad. That's so sad. But I love losers and winners of the NFL offseason, man. Draft's coming up 2.5 weeks here. Can't wait. There will be plenty more to talk about as we get closer and closer because teams are going to start making trades, a la Jets. We're going to figure out what the Lamar Jackson situation will be in the coming weeks, hopefully. But I like it.